Principle of the day from Ray Dalio here. Just got it, 4:41. Was on a call when I got this. Principle of the day. Wanted to read it to you. Don't let fears of what others think of you stand in your way. You must be willing to do things in unique ways you think are best and to open-mindedly reflect on the feedback that comes inevitably as a result of being that way. It's really, really tough to put yourself out there consistently. I am feeling it currently, putting myself out there on this daily live stream, sometimes twice a day like today. And it can be challenging. I'll be honest, having everybody kind of inside your head every day, putting everything out here for them to critique and to judge. If you are fearful of what others think of you, like I have been in the past, it can be challenging to put yourself out there, and put what you think out into the world. But don't let the fear of what others think of you stand in your way. That's such a good resonating truth for me. One of the actual Bible verses that come to mind related to this is the idea of you're doing things unto the glory of God, not to the glory of man. And that's a big verse that is quoted when considering people pleasing tendencies and how to protect against those tendencies. And that's something that I'll be vulnerable with you that I've struggled with, is the people pleasing and pandering to what others want and what others will be happy with, seeking the approval of man or woman, and not only of God. So I know Ray Dalio did not explicitly make this a biblical principle. I'm kind of bringing that to the table, but that is one way in which I eliminate the fear of what others may think of me putting myself out there. It's very important to do that consistently, to eliminate fear, especially when it comes to others' judgment on you. Another great way to do that Grant Hensel mentioned in one of our interviews here on Business Over Breakfast was to just picture a worst case scenario and how much your fear of what others think, or even if that fear comes true, because it will, oftentimes people will think poorly of you for whatever reason, to imagine a worst case scenario, say, a loved one passing away. It could sound very dark and grim, but it's a great practice to contextualize and trivialize the situation that you're in. If your mother, your wife, your daughter or son passed away, that would be so much more important than a comment on, your social channel, or a negative review, or even bad press, on the greatest extreme. When people are really judging, that it fails in comparison to some of the extreme loss that people experience. I also had I was privileged to travel a bit during high school to work in some remote third world countries and places in our world and country, even in the US here, and was just flabbergasted by the joy and the positive energy, focus on optimism that a lot of people in really dire circumstances had, walking around the slums in Kenya, or through the brush in Rwanda after the genocide, or, through downtown Dominican Republic, or in Jamaica, or in Northwest Haiti. There's these really just tough areas, and these people have so much joy and so much love for one another. The people I was interacting with, it was rooted in Christ-like love and in their love for the Lord. But what I'm getting at is a little bit more surfacey, if you will, in business, and looking at how you can eliminate the fear of others. if the people who lived through the Rwandan genocide and had literally their family massacred in front of their eyes, one of them buried alive with their family, just terrible. If that person can be optimistic and find joy in their life, then your fear of negative comment, or the next family get together catching some flack or some jest making fun of you at your next family get together, if that, it really fails in comparison. Really puts things into perspective. And what Tim Ferriss talks about, fear setting, emotionally live through the worst case scenario of putting yourself out there. So worst case scenario, of business over breakfast could be on all the major news cycles. They're cycling through one of my episodes and poking fun, and, millions of people seeing that. That's the worst case scenario. But you know what? I'm still going to walk home to an awesome home and enjoy time with my family. And that part of my life doesn't change. No one's going to take that from me. I'm still going to have an awesome relationship with the Lord, integrated into an awesome community in my church. And those sorts of things trivialize what happens here in my professional life. Therefore, I can use that, though, for performance in my professional life. And if I'm honest, and I can, use that to have a lack of, self-doubt, let a thicker skin around judgment, and power through that judgment. Anyway, really interesting thought that I had when Ray Dalio sent that text. If you have not already, you can sign up for his texting. I believe his phone number, 203-806-9661. I believe if you text that number, you will be prompted to sign up. It's 203-806-9661. Wanted to jump right into this one, a little bit raw. I'm not going to throw in an intro, outro, but thank you for tuning in, and I appreciate you as always.